Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the January 14th monthly meeting. If I could ask you just to keep it down a bit as we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, where Mr. Pileski will lead us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Everybody's present. May I have a motion to accept the minutes of the December 10th meeting? Mr. Cullen, second. Ms. Saragona, all in favor? Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Kunz for the art gallery.
The Burns-Seidemann Gallery is proud to present the January show entitled Fragmented Icons. The show features the work of drawing and painting students from Mr. Kunz's and Mr. Lentini's classes. On display are a dynamic collection of pixelated paintings inspired by iconic and recognizable portraits, reimagined through a contemporary lens. Drawing inspiration from modern artists such as Nick Smith and Morgan Sims, students explored how images can be broken down, abstracted, and reconstructed through color and form. By translating familiar portraits into a grid of pixels, students challenge the viewer's perception, inviting them to step back and reconsider how images are read and understood. Throughout the project, students developed advanced color mixing techniques, focusing on subtle shifts in hue and value to create depth and likeness within a limited modular structure. Emphasis was also placed on brush control and precision, as each pixel required careful planning and execution. In addition, students experimented with surface texture, pushing the work beyond the two-dimensional plane. Some pieces incorporated raised elements such as tiles or Lego forms, physically popping off the surface to enhance visual rhythm and tactile interest. Together, these works reflect both technical growth and conceptual exploration, celebrating the students' ability to merge traditional painting with contemporary ideas. The exhibition highlights the power of fragmentation, color, and texture in transforming familiar imagery into something new and compelling. Please take a moment to enjoy Fragmented Icons. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kunz. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to you, Dr. Lynch, for presentations.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Danino. So as you know, this is the profile of the owl, and we've been talking about it really all year. In every board meeting, we've been trying to take one of the pillars and highlight it. So tonight, because of how great our kids are, we get to talk about this fourth pillar, and that is global citizenship. So I want to describe to everyone what the expectation is for children at Lynbrook schools. So under the fourth pillar of the OWL is global citizenship. Students will build strong character through daily actions by demonstrating honesty, integrity, and respect. Students will show kindness and fairness and treat all individuals with dignity. Students will volunteer and serve others with a sense of responsibility and leadership, contributing meaningful to the community. Students will approach civic and societal involvement with dedication and a strong work ethic, continuing actively to efforts that serve the greatest good. And students will value diverse cultures and recognize how local and global communities are interconnected. So as perfect examples of this, I'm going to be highlighting some large groups of students and some specific students. So if we could, Julia and Jake Pillay, if you want to you have to stand up because we have to embarrass you a little bit. So come on up and we're going to talk, and actually you're going to stand there for a second. So just to talk a little bit, first of all, in all my years, I've been in Lynbrook since 2009. I was on my couch during the Christmas break, and all of a sudden I get this alert for Lynbrook, and I see that our students are the Lynbrook Herald's People of the Year, and that's Julia and Jake. So what Julia and Jake did to deserve this honor is, and guys, you can correct me if I'm wrong, their grandfather was an ophthalmologist, and service was extremely important to him. So upon his passing, they decided it was a family legacy to continue his good work. And they began by collecting eyeglasses in his honor. And then eventually, as soon as they were old enough to start a club, they started a junior level of the Lions Club right here at the high school called the Leo Club. And through that Leo Club, not only have they collected for people in need, but they have created a system that is self-sustaining to help children and other people in need. So one thing that the Herald pointed out that I was kind of blown away by, even kids that they don't know had come to events to help others. And so if I think we needed to do an example of what our global citizenship pillar is, I couldn't think of two finer examples. So congratulations, Julia and Jake. You get a t-shirt for that. All right, the girls' tennis team. And again, it's not just the next ones that I'm going to read about. I always say to our coaches, it's always about winning. I get that. But to win with a sense of service and responsibility when winning isn't the only thing is what impresses me. And that's why we're bringing you up here. So the Lynbrook girls varsity tennis team had an outstanding fall season, finishing undefeated in Conference 2A with a perfect 14-0 record. This made them back-to-back conference champions. The team demonstrated exceptional skill, dedication, and sportsmanship throughout the season. Beyond their achievements on the court, the team also showed strong community spirit by hosting a Lynbrook community tennis clinic and raised over $1,000 for their booster club, helping to support the continued growth of the program. The girls also had a successful Think Pink match, raising money and awareness for breast cancer, and we have high hopes for next season. But rumor has it we're losing 8 really good seniors. So there you go. So come on up and you take a picture with us. Thank you. And the girls volleyball team. The girls volleyball team once again participated in an annual Dig Pink volleyball game, which raises money for the Side Out Foundation. The Side Out Foundation is a nonprofit organization that raises money for research and support of women with metastatic breast cancer. The foundation recruits scientists and forms research teams to help manage and operate their own science that actively searches for answers and treatment options for those living with breast cancer. Through their efforts this year, the team raised $800 for that foundation. So great job, ladies. And same thing. And the football team. The football team held their Cure for Cancer benefit game this season on Halloween. The boys' football program had the opportunity to represent something bigger than wins and losses. The entire event was dedicated to supporting 2 young girls in our community who are courageously battling cancer. A 6th grader fighting brain cancer and a 4-year-old battling childhood leukemia. All money raised from the game went directly to supporting these 2 families during an incredibly difficult time. All 42 members of our football team were involved in this effort, showing what it truly means to be a team and a community. As a part of the event, the players helped raise funds to create trick-or-treat stations during the game, allowing local children to safely enjoy Halloween in a fun, welcoming environment. It was a night built on connection, compassion, and giving back. And really, during the at the very beginning of the game, there wasn't a dry eye in the place. So great job. So come on up, guys. I'm going to bring them up from. And everybody has to stay in place. So thank you so much for letting me know. Apparently, one of the families is here. The Nugent family is here to receive some of the funds. I think that would be really beautiful for you to come on up. That'd be great. Okay, and I have one more person to embarrass, and it's on the staff side, not the student side. So Sue, you're going to have to stand. So Sue Mahler, our chair of guidance, you're coming up anyway. You think I'm going to let this moment go? Are you crazy? So we're going to talk a little bit about our guidance chair, Sue Muller. So the New York State Master Counselor Program, recognizing outstanding K-12 public school counselor, STEM teachers and counselors, and sustains a statewide professional network of educators dedicated to professional growth and development. Master counselors are educational leaders committed to sharing best practices and to creating engaging and inspiring learning environments for all K-12 students, as well as support for teachers and counselor preparation programs. The inaugural cohort of master counselors are active members of their professional associations, serving in leadership roles and regularly engaging with local industries to help students chart a path to success. Sue Mahler is one of 3 counselors on Long Island and only 25 in New York State to be part of that cohort. She was selected by a rigorous multi-step application process, and the goodies include a $15,000 stipend annually, engage in peer mentoring and intensive content-oriented professional development opportunities throughout the academic year, work closely with pre-service and early career teachers and counselors to foster a supportive environment for the next generation of counselors, and attends regional meetings. So Sue, we can't thank you for all that. On top of all that, she runs our high school and middle school guidance programs. I know we owe you so much for all the work that you do, so much of it behind the scenes, and always, I think every person in this, always for the kids, and that is, we can't thank you enough for that, so great. And now I'll pass it back to you, Mrs. Danino.
Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Kelly for a retirement resolution.
Whereas Mrs. Maureen Frazier, a door monitor in the Lynbrook Union Free School District, has announced her intention to retire effective January 30th, 2026, after 26 years of service to the principals, staff, students, and parents of the community. And whereas since September of 2000, Mrs. Frazier has faithfully dedicated 26 years of exceptional service to the West End Elementary School community with unwavering commitment, care, and professionalism. She began her work with a card table, folding chair, basket of passes, and a notebook at a time when doors were unlocked and school safety depended on her watchful eye and steady presence. As school safety evolved, particularly following September 11th, Ms. Frazier seamlessly adapted to new procedures, remaining a constant source of stability while serving under 5 superintendents and 5 principals. And whereas Ms. Frazier's dedication extended far beyond the school day and school year. She supported early morning programs, rode afternoon buses to ensure student safety, worked summers as a door monitor at the administration, supervised concerts, performances, and sporting events, and served students in the district's after-school programs at West End, Marion Street, and Waverly. And whereas parents have captured Ms. Frazier's impact on the West End community, sharing, quote, Ms. Frazier has been the consistent face that greets our students, the gatekeeper of West End, and a steadying force who has kept our students and staff safe for many years. Sentiments that reflect the deep appreciation of the entire community. The heart of Ms. Frazier's work has always been the children. She has watched generations of students grow up, many now returning as parents, and will miss both the students and the colleagues she has worked alongside throughout her career. Her love of Snoopy and the Peanuts reflects her joyful spirit and timeless charm, reminding us that kindness, humor, and heart never go out of style. And whereas Ms. Frazier's deep connection to the Lynbrook community is both professional and personal. All 3 of her children attended Lynbrook schools, and she is the proud mother of Tom, Brian, and Allison, as well as being a devoted grandmother to Hannah, Emma, Jack, Evie, and Erin, who bring her immense joy and pride.
And whereas the Board of Education and the entire West End Elementary School community recognizes and honors the extraordinary career of Miss Maureen Fraser, expresses heartfelt thanks for her dedication as the trusted heart and gatekeeper of West End, and wishes her a retirement filled with time for family, cherished moments with her grandchildren, joyful travels, relaxing days in Sag Harbor, meaningful friendships, and the well-earned opportunity to enjoy life at a slower, happier pace, knowing her legacy will forever be a part of the West End and Lynbrook community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Lynbrook Union Free School District hereby accepts the resignation of Maureen Fraser for the purpose of retirement, effective January 30th, 2026.
May I have a motion to accept this resolution? Mr. Lunar, second. Mr. Murray, all in favor? Congratulations.
So I rarely step on the board, as they know, and normally I'd ask permission, but you'll see me do this. I like to acknowledge the people who taught me what it means to be an owl as they leave the door, because I think that's so important. So I came here in 2009 not knowing what it meant to be an owl, and now in many ways I kind of try to embody it. But if it were not for people like Maureen Fraser, who, by the way, the first time I ever met her, she forced me to sign the book. I showed up as the new director of technology, and it was like, yeah, hi, sign the book. But I think everyone in this cafeteria will tell you the pure kindness of this woman and her true care for children is a model for all of us. So you have to come up and take a picture with us.
At this time, we have privilege of the floor for any student, although I don't know that there are any left, who would like to speak. Do we have any students here that would like to say something? Okay. So if anybody, we'll take a 1-minute break if anybody wants to leave before we continue on. Okay, at this time, I would like to move on to the report from trustees. Policy Committee, Mr. Murray?
We have a number of first readings tonight. Most of these policies are just updates required by
changes in regulation or law at New York State. So the online distance and remote learning is a new policy that reflects new state regulations on remote instruction should that have to take place during a weather closing or some other emergency school closure. Then there's a policy that's being rescinded for those same reason. It's no longer relevant. So it's basically just making sure that our policy book is in line with the regulations, and things that aren't relevant anymore come out of the policy book.
Okay, can we take a motion to waive the first reading? No, this was the first reading.
No, you didn't read the policy. Oh, it's in the. Technically,
We're supposed to read it?
you're supposed to read the policy, but for obvious reasons, you don't.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion to waive the first reading. Okay, Mr. Lunar, second, Ms. Aragona, all in favor? Thank you, Jack. Okay. Mr. Murray, can you give the Facilities Committee report, please?
So the Facilities Committee met before this evening's board meeting to further our discussions around possible capital projects for the 26-27 school year. We started to identify priorities back in November. We did a building tour in December to see each of the proposed projects to further hone that list down to projects that would meet our financial abilities. We have asked Mr. Seda and Mr. Press to go out and get a little bit of a tighter pricing on some of the proposed projects, and so hopefully by the beginning of the budget work sessions in March, we'll have a very clear idea of exactly which projects that we'll be proposing. Of course, we're always putting student safety at the top of the list, followed by instructional spaces.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. Ms. Zaragona, if you want to report on shared decision-making and PTA liaison?
Yep. So each shared decision-making committee continues to meet regularly, focusing on a main topic as well as additional items as they arise. Minutes from each meeting can be found on our district website. So going forward, I will report as needed rather than monthly when there is a significant information to share. PTA Council wants to welcome everyone to join them at their Founders Day celebration on Monday, February 2nd at 7 p.m. at the high school. Information on their honorees are coming soon. They also wanted to thank everyone for attending their last parent university, which focused on school avoidance. I had the opportunity to attend. I thought it was really informative. I thought the Northwell presenter was great. For anyone navigating this issue, Northwell offers a free 6-week lunch and learn for parents and guardians. If you're interested, you could reach out to Ms. Boyce, our Director of School Counseling and Social Work, for more information. Also, I wanted to mention that our district website, under the district tab, you could find our mental health communication guide. It provides direct contact information for social workers, psychologists, and counselors at each school. Copies of the communication guide are actually at the back table. Council's next parent university is March 18th. Their topic is financial literacy, tools to build smart money habits and plans for the future. And their staff volleyball game is March 27th at the high school.
Thank you. Mr. Cullen, can you please give the BOCES report?
I attended via Zoom the first Nassau BOCES budget review session on January 8th of this month. The budget covered administrative operations, facilities rental and leasing, capital projects, debt service, curriculum, instruction, technology, and support services. Some takeaways from the review, while mostly positive: rising costs in cyber, liability, health, and property insurance, as well as utilities, will affect the 2026-27 budget. On January 29th, the budget review will focus on special education, regional school and instructional programs, special aid fund programs, capital projects fund, and there's also a live stream available at nassauboces.org if anybody wants to view it. The BOCES budget vote is on April 28th, 2026, where all 56 participating school districts will vote. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to call on our student board member, Jackson Bowler.
LHS's Key Club will be hosting their second blood drive of the year on February 2nd, 2026. The blood drive will be held in the small gym from 7:45 a.m. to 1:45 p.m. Students can receive 2 hours of community service if they donate. 16-year-olds must get the consent form signed by their parent or guardian. The consent form is attached in Dr. T's email. If you cannot donate blood at this blood drive, you can donate at Key Club's final blood drive on April 1st, 2026. High school students are in the process of scheduling their schedules for the 2026-2027 school year. Students and their families are encouraged to look over the secondary curriculum guide that is located on the district website. This curriculum guide is helpful because it contains all the information you need to know about graduation requirements, levels of courses offered, and the numerous electives the high school offers. Freshmen scheduled from January 6th to 9th, sophomores will schedule from January 13th through 16th, and juniors will schedule from January 27th to 30th. Lynbrook's Department of Fine and Performing Arts will be hosting their annual jazz and pop concert on February 10th. The show will highlight performances from LHS's Chamber Orchestra, Jazz Band, and Show Choir. Additionally, LHS will host its annual Cabaret Night on January 23rd. The performances will range from solo vocalists to group performances. These events showcase the strength and talent that is in our music department, and I encourage everyone to come down and support.
Thank you so much. This morning, I actually heard an interesting fact about those who are able to donate blood as to compared to those who do. And it was before my coffee on my way to work, but it was something like 1 in 3 people are able to donate, but 1 in 100 actually donate. It was pretty crazy. So I encourage you, the blood drives throughout the district are great and a great way to just do it locally and help save a life. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to report? Okay, thank you. There's no old or new business, so I'm going to turn it over to you, Dr. Lynch.
Thank you, Mrs. Danino. So my first report tonight is about our board goals. So as we know, the first board goal is the implementation of the profile of the OWL. And I'm happy to announce that we are now starting to really look at the embedding of the profile of the OWL into curriculum. I'm very proud of the work that's being done at the secondary level, at the high school and the middle schools. And what's happening is they are taking what are called curriculum scopes and sequence, and they're looking at what we teach in classrooms through the lens of the profile of the OWL, looking for gaps, redundancies, ways that we can bolster things that we should be emphasizing a little bit more. That's going to be, we're really just at the beginning of that process, but really that's when the rubber meets the road. So I thank Mr. Rossi, Mrs. Ganun, and Mrs. Healy for their hard work, and the chairs and the teachers, because it's really happening in the departments where that's all going down. So I thank you for that. Our second goal regarding our multi-tiered system of supports. So there has been some really great professional development going on at the elementary level, and I've now learned something called the meta moment. So the meta moment is when one stop. I guess my mother had this thing: don't speak before like you're supposed to speak. I think is kind of what is the way that would have been said back in the day. But it's really just like stopping, identifying the emotion, and then controlling the next moment. So that's some good PD that happened with our teachers. And I was observing some classes today, and I actually heard some of that language being used. So that was really great. We are now implementing the mood meters, which we had done at the elementary schools. They're now hitting the middle schools. And again, I was in a classroom today, and I saw an elementary teacher refer to the mood meter, and children reflected on what mood they were in, and then what mood the character was in. And I thought that was kind of a really great implementation of that. And then finally, we will be having our second set of SEL check-ins at the secondary level in sometime in February. I think that will be coming down. So those are then Mrs. Aragoni did such a good job on shared decision making. I think I'm going to say that That was there. Our universal pre-K program, we have been in the business for 5 years. I find that hard to believe, which means that first set we put out requests for proposals because we do it through a community-based organization. So now all of those contracts we have to put up for bid again. So we'll be putting that, I think sometime in early February, we'll be putting that out. We're going to let our providers know. We'll be reading the bids, see where we come down, and see where we go from there. Dr. Berman, you talk a little bit about kindergarten registration and non-public school transportation.
Thank you, Dr. Lynch. Kindergarten registration. The Lynbrook Public Schools registration for the 26-27 school year is currently open. Registration is being completed online only, and there will not be any on-site registration for appointments. Children are eligible if they reside in the Lynbrook School District and will be 5 years old on or before December 1st of 2026. Families must complete the online registration and upload all required documentation before they schedule a kindergarten screening appointment. The screenings will take place in May, and all appointment information will be provided after registration is complete via email. Additional information and the registration link will be available on the district website. Moving on to non-public transportation, we're in the process of collecting applications. So requests for transportation to non-public schools for the 26-27 school year for residents in Lynbrook Public Schools must be submitted electronically by visiting the district's website and completing all electronic requests for non-public transportation. Documentation must be timestamped no later than April 1st. Documents should be sent to the school, documents should not be sent to the school of the attendance of your child. A request form must be filled out every year for every school your child is applying to, and for each child if there are multiple siblings. Transportation requests cannot be requested for a school more than 15 miles from the student's residence. For more detailed information, visit the district's website. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Berman. Tonight, the Board of Education will be adopting the 26-27 school year calendar. So just to let you know what goodies are in it, yes, it will be the day before Thanksgiving again. I always made that we can't do it every year. It's really the way the holidays fall, so that how many come out of the mainstream of school days, so we're able to do it one more year. And the December break isn't as long as this year, but it's pretty long. So the board will be adopting that tonight. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Murray. A good thing to note is that we will be starting before Labor Day. So if you're making your vacation plans, that's a really important thing to know. And then teachers actually come back in August, on August 31st. So that's and all good for us to know. Thank you for bringing that up. And then Dr. Belekas, grants.
Thank you, Dr. Lynch. Each year, the district receives federal funding through Titles 1 through 4, which we strategically allocate to strengthen and coordinate student support services. Over the past several years, these funds have been instrumental in expanding our resources that directly benefit our students' academic and social emotional needs. Title I, this year, the Title I funds have supported the addition of a social worker at both North and the high school, as well as a psychologist at West End Elementary. These positions enhance our ability to provide targeted interventions and mental health supports for students. Titles 2 and 4 have been used to fund our Director of Guidance, ensuring strong leadership and coordination of counseling services across the district. And Title 3 supports our membership in the Nassau BOCES Consortium, which provides resources and professional development to best serve our ELs, or our English language learners. Through these allocations, we continue to prioritize student well-being and equitable access to support services, aligning with our district's commitment to academic success and social emotional growth. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Belekas. And Mr. Press, food program?
So our the food program continues with good numbers. We had a little dip in December. I think part of that was due to the change we did at the KC on breakfast. We got rid of pre-ordering. There is no more pre-ordering at the elementary school level. So good news for us. I think very good news for parents. Not so good for the FD Meal Planner software company, because we're going to stop using them. And they emailed us and they're like, your menus aren't up on the app anymore, because we're not doing pre-ordering. So we got rid of pre-ordering for lunch at the KC. That was the last piece of our pre-ordering puzzle. We did that on January 5th when we returned from break. So far, things are going well. A big thanks to Mrs. Postman and her staff at the KC for their flexibility. They've made some changes to accommodate this. It takes a little bit longer for our little 5-year-olds to work their way through a line, and they're getting used to having options. I think we started out with a couple options. We gave them more, and they were like, kind of like me when I go to the diner, like, I don't know what to order. But yeah, again, thank you to the Mrs. Postman and her staff there. And that's all I have to report on food.
Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to open the floor for public comment. Just come to the microphone and state your name. Okay. Seeing no one at the microphone, I'd like to move on to a sympathy resolution. Mr. Cullen?
Whereas the members of the Board of Education of the Lynbrook Union School District have learned with sorrow of the passing of Lillian Reed, former employee in the Lynbrook School District, and whereas Lillian Reed served as a typist clerk through the district during her 21-year tenure from 1982 through 2003, and whereas the Board of Education is mindful of the contributions made to our district by Lillian Reed during her years of service to our community. Be it resolved that the Board of Education records its sorrow, its sympathy, and the esteem in which Mrs. Reed was held, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be sent to the family of Lillian Reed with the hope that they will find solace and comfort in the rich heritage of good works for which she is remembered and revered. Thank you.
Thank you. The board gratefully acknowledges and accepts a donation of a cello valued at approximately $200 from the Krokoff family. Thank you. And I'd like to ask for a consent agenda on resolutions 2601C1 through 2601C8, 2601NC2 through NC11, and 2601G1 through G18. May I have a motion, please? Mr. Pileski, second. Mr. Cullen, all in favor? Thank you. May I have a motion to accept the consent agenda? Ms. Kelly, second. Mr. Lunar, all in favor? Thank you. We will have our work session on January 28th to outline new programs, and our next regular meeting is February 11th. I would like to ask for a motion to go back into executive session to discuss a matter of personnel. Ms. Aragona, second. Ms. Kelly, all in favor? Thank you. Have a great night, everybody.